Hey guys, so today I'm talking about Jaclyn Hill again, because not only did she get herself into trouble, she also can't get herself out of trouble, like always. We love that for her. I've made a video about more in-depth what the problems were, so if you don't watch that, you might not understand this, so the link for that video will be in the description down below if you want to watch that, if you want to get up to date with what's happening. But if you know what's happening, then just watch this video and you'll be fine. As always, I kind of feel the need to put some kind of a don't sue me joke. You know, everything here is my opinion or information that I've gathered online. That's it. That's all there is to it. That's that on that. Thank you. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoy it, and let's get into it. Before I get further into the video, it is sponsored by Skillshare once again. We love Skillshare around here. Skillshare is basically just an online learning community where you can learn new things with a community. There are over 25,000 different classes, which is insane to me. A premium membership basically gives you unlimited access to any of the classes, so you can learn anything you want, basically. So you can join the 7 million people on Skillshare right now with my link in description down below, which gives the first 500 people a free 2-month trial and an annual membership at just $10 a month. A class that I like is iPhone photography, how to take pro photos on an iPhone. And it's just been amazing to learn new things and learn how to take pictures on an iPhone, because I feel like most people have an iPhone. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, the link will be in the description down below. So thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video, and let's get right into the tea. I made a video on Jaclyn Hill and her new cosmetics line called Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics or Jaclyn Cosmetics, because at this point I don't fucking know. And her first launch, which were 20 nude lipsticks with a lot of problems. There was melting, beading, air bubbles, fibers, shipping, customer service, the website, PR. The list is long. It's extensive. The things I didn't mention last time that I kind of want to just quickly mention this time before we get into further problems. I didn't mention the problems with the website. People did go on the website and then added things to the basket literally at 9:01, and the launch was at 9. They had to wait ages for it to load, and then by the time it loaded, the things were sold out and they got put back to the main page. Then they tried again with different things, the same thing happened, and then they were forced to buy the main collection, which is obviously a lot more expensive than just buying 1 or 3 lipsticks. That has been shown by a YouTuber called Raw Beauty Christy. Is that some kind of a money-making ploy, or just a shitty website with a bad server which should have been better? I don't know, you tell me. The PR for the launch didn't get sent out until the lipsticks were launched to the public. If you don't know what PR is, it's kind of what's sent to influencers and people that have to get their reviews up first. That wasn't sent out, even though it usually is sent out at least a week or 2 in advance, so that people can try it out, make a video, do a review, and then once the products get launched to the public knows roughly how the products perform. This wasn't done here. The PR got sent after people already bought their lipsticks, which means even some influencers bought lipsticks that they were then sent anyway. So extra money. In my opinion, that's a way to avoid criticism and therefore increase profits, because clearly, looking at the videos made now, the lipsticks are not performing well. They are frankly unusable and disgusting. If that was sent out in PR, those reviews wouldn't be good and those lipsticks would have not sold out. So in my opinion, it was just a way to avoid criticism, because as I said in my last video, there was no way that Jaclyn Hill did not know the problems with the lipsticks before she launched them. Absolutely no way in hell, because a lot of the lipsticks have problems, and if she has tried as many as she claims she has, then she would have come across at least one bad lipstick, and that would have been enough to reconsider the formula and try again. But she didn't, which makes me think that the PR not being sent out wasn't an accident, it was done on purpose. That is just my opinion though, don't sue me. She has actually now made an apology, which it's just too late. In my opinion, for a video, she should have done this a solid few days ago when all of this started happening, because I'm not convinced that 1, she didn't know about these problems beforehand, and 2, couldn't figure them out quicker. It's not just her, she's got a whole team, so I'm not sure why. All this time, she hasn't made a video, but she was liking and reposting people swatching the lipsticks knowing that they were unusable. It just doesn't make sense to me, but we'll go over the points she made in that video kind of later on in the video. There are now multiple lies that Jaclyn Hill has told, or alleged lies that Jaclyn Hill has told. It's not exactly confirmed, at least not all of it. Even people like Marlena, who is the owner of Makeup Geek, is coming out and saying that basically Jaclyn Hill is full of shit. So I think someone that has been in contact with Jaclyn Hill behind the scenes and is in the makeup industry is someone that we can technically trust. But then again, we thought we could trust Tati, and here we are. PR, as I said, it didn't get sent out. They said it was an organization problem with the postage and stuff. In my opinion, it was just a way to avoid criticism, because at that point they knew that it was bad. And what do you do when you know your product is bad? You don't send it out to influencers who are gonna rip it to shreds. The beading on the lipsticks, like the little poking out things that would come out when you would use it. At first, she blamed the lipsticks on people's inability to use them, or people using them over other product, or people using them on dry lips, which none of that makes sense, because my lipsticks have never done any of that. Whether I put them on other lipsticks, whether I put them on other lip liners, whether I fucking had dry lips, it just doesn't add up. But now she claims that it's because the product was poorly mixed in the machines, and that's why there's those weird beads. I'm probably going to repeat myself a lot in this video. She claims to have worked on this for years. She claims to have perfected the formula. She claims to have tried the lipsticks for years. Now in the video, she claims that she made the batch, all of the 300,000 lipsticks, in the same month that she launched them. So Jaclyn, how could you have possibly tried them for years if you made them on the same month that you launched them? Clearly, you don't care about your company, because if you did, you would have planned ahead. There were fibers or pieces of hair found on the lipstick, are what some claim to be fungus. Like, you know when food grows mold on it and it's got little hairs on it? Yeah, that. And not something that you'd want to put on your lips, I'm guessing. But then there has been a video where someone pulls out a really long hair. Either way, not something you want to put on your lips. Now, she tweeted out saying that this is just a certain type of glove that they use that has fibers on it, so that they don't leave marks on the components, because the components are metal. So they didn't use rubber gloves, they used fiber gloves. Police officers use rubber gloves. They don't use fiber gloves when they're not trying to leave fingerprints. Fingerprints and marks come from the oil on your skin and fingerprints. Rubber gloves don't have any oil on them and do not have fingerprints. Therefore, rubber gloves would have been just fine in ensuring that there will be no marks on the metal components. Not sure why or who or how fiber gloves came into the mix, but I came across a post on Twitter that says that the FDA does not approve of any fiber gloves. So frankly, you saying that means you're not following FDA rules, and that they have now switched them out. However, prior to this, pictures came out of Jaclyn Hill in the factory wearing regular rubber blue gloves with no fibers on them. I saw a comment under Raw Beauty Christie's video, which basically explained how these are probably expired lipsticks, which is why they would probably have that growing mold on them, because of that whole situation with the company being called Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics and then Jaclyn Cosmetics. Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics was before she was divorced, and Jaclyn Cosmetics was after she was divorced. There is also a picture of a lipstick from like 2016 in her room, and there's also an email between her and Marlena from like 2015 or whatever it is. I'll put all the screenshots on the screen, where she says that she ordered the lipsticks and they're ready to go, which would mean that they've been sitting there all that time and she hasn't created a new batch, which means that's the old batch, the expired batch. This is all alleged information, but if it is, then that's fucking disgusting, and it was just an easy way to save money instead of just creating a new batch that wouldn't be expired and moldy and hairy. She did in the video now pull up documents that are supposed to prove that the lipsticks are not old, but one, all the documents are blurry. Like, she wanted to make sure that we would not be able to read what it says on those documents. Some of the dates don't add up. There is a date of quality control in 2017, yet she claims that The lipsticks were made in 2019. That's a 2-year gap. I'm not sure how that works, but you guys can just watch her video and see all the documents. They do not make sense and they're very blurry. They don't really prove anything. So it is kind of hard for us to read and or understand the documents. And she almost, just flashes them up as kind of like, here's the proof that I'm not releasing old shit. But most people don't know what those documents are about because most people don't run a company that is to do with makeup. So maybe there was another way that you could have explained this that wasn't like that so that people could actually understand and believe you. But at this point, I don't think anyone wants to believe you because of your past and how you've handled yet another situation. Some people are saying that another lie from this whole story is the fact that the lipsticks got sold out. I know people don't even say this just about Jaclyn Hill. People say this about all brands, that if something says sold out, it's not actually sold out. It is just a way to build demand, build hype around the product, make it seem more desirable so that when it comes back in stock, you want it more because you weren't able to get it the first time round. People are saying that that was the case with this one because they don't truly believe that she could sell 300,000 lipsticks in one day, considering she's not at her peak anymore. And people were honestly kind of underwhelmed with this whole launch and this whole cosmetics line because it's been long overdue. Solid 5 years overdue. Final thoughts on this is that she is a grown woman that can't seem to hold herself accountable for her repeated business fuck-ups, and instead blames everyone and everything else while playing the victim, just like with her Vault collection. Do you remember that, when she blamed the whole thing on Morphe instead of taking some accountability because it's her collection? This time it's her cosmetics brand. Who is she gonna put the blame on now? You're in charge. This should have been done by you, checked by you, and made perfect by you, and it wasn't. So the fact that one of your lipsticks is called Perfectionist, allegedly named after you, baffles me. Because there is nothing perfect about this launch, and you are far from being a perfectionist if you're selling moldy lipsticks. This video was just bad, in my opinion, with zero effort. It was the whole no makeup, regular clothes, I'm wearing a hoodie, I've taken off all my expensive jewelry that I bought because of your money to look almost busy and tired and like the victim. But at this point, even if everything she said in that video is 100% true, no one will believe her because of her past and how she chose to address this situation and how long it took her to address this situation. I said this in my last video, but a lot of YouTubers think that being a YouTuber and company owner is all going to be the same thing, so when criticism comes their way, they just respond the same way. The difference is people don't pay to watch your YouTube videos, but they do pay for your products and services, so the way you react to their criticism has to be a little bit different. Yes, if someone says, "Oh, I hate this video," and you do a little snappy petty comeback, no one's really gonna complain, right? But if someone buys your product and then gives you actual criticism, then I suggest you take that on board and you make your product better, because those are paying customers that you're disrespecting. Now, the last point I want to make, which I didn't make in my last video and I really should have, is that the FDA should realistically look into this. And if you have bought a Jaclyn Hill lipstick or any other product that is expired or contaminated or just unusable in any way, shape or form, and you are scared to put it on your face, contact the FDA to look into those products. I know a lot of YouTubers bought these lipsticks, saw the beading, the hair, and still used them. But if your lipstick comes with hair on it or air bubbles or any beading, please don't fucking swatch it. Just send it right back, because I don't want anyone else to get allergic reactions. And that is that on that. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Comment down below anything you want to comment down below. Subscribe and turn on post notifications, because I'm not posting on specific days anymore, so you might miss a video if you don't do that. My social media will be in description down below if you want to follow me, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.